Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Karin.
I'm Neoshia.
And I'm Expanse Lover.
And you're listening to the Rom-Com Detectives.
The Rom-Com Detectives are coming to you live from New York City. We got together this weekend to do a bunch of fun touristy things together, and we did an escape room, which we did not break out of.
We are not Patrick Jane. He would have had it in 20, and we almost had it in an hour.
I'm not convinced that Jane would have been able to put together some of those clues that we...
You need to make us feel better. It was hard, though, yeah?
Yeah. We got to the third room out of 3. So we were close, I think.
Yeah.
And also, I think I learned not good at puzzles like that. So something for me to know.
It's the pressure, too. The fact that you're in this room and you got to get out, it just makes me anxious. So I've never broken out of an escape room yet. And I was hoping that with our Mentalist group, we'd be able to do it, but sadly, no.
Is it on your bucket list?
Eventually.
I think it's kind of neat that we did the escape room, and this is the episode that we have to talk about this week is Jane escaping.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it was a prison
that
we were trying to escape from.
That's right.
Someone should have brought a cranberry muffin.
That would have made the difference.
Yes.
There were actually a pair of empty, or of course they were empty shoes. There were a pair of shoes there that were kind of like Jane's. They were all beat up.
Yeah, they were
They
brown.
did not appear to have anything to do with
Did
anything.
Someone just forget them there? Because we were already in the last room, so what were the shoes for, right?
I don't know.
We'll never know.
But we did it all in our matching. I made matching Mentalist bullpen New York City shirts, and we did the escape room, and that did not help with our luck or anything like that. But and we have bullpen server emoji stickers, and I've been taking pictures at certain sites with my Lego, Cho, and Rigsby, and so it's been a lot of fun. This is the first time we all met in person, but we got along really well, so it's been a lot of fun. I wish it was longer, but...
Yeah. And we were able to find each other. That's what's important. We all found each other.
So I think what I've learned from this weekend is that if we were to ever plan something bigger, it would be so much fun, right? I mean, we've been seeing like Mentalist references everywhere. I stopped in Texas on the way here, and I saw "Don't Mess with Texas" merchandise there, and I was like, oh my god, that's what Lazarus was wearing in the finale episode, right? So I got them stickers, and then Expanse, she found dinosaur gummies when we went to the Museum of Natural History. It's just the Mentalist is everywhere.
Yeah,
you just gotta look for it.
I found a lot of pigeons.
There are so many pigeons in Central Park. It's like Home Alone 2, but like Red John.
He would not like it.
Would not like it here. I was like, that's a spoiler. That's a spoiler. I'm sorry, but like Red John, this is not a city, so we're safe here, folks.
So the rest of the breakdown is going to be recorded once we get home, but we just wanted to record a quick thing so that we have an in-person recording. And
I'm very excited to be involved in the behind the scenes.
And also, I just wanted to add, it's like Rom-Com Detectives. We're all here except for Tara. So Tara, we miss you.
Yeah, we miss you, Tara. But it's been fun. We got to do this again.
Oh,
yeah.
Please.
This can't be the last time.
Yeah. We need a Mentalist con is what we need.
Yeah, we can make our own little one, right?
Yeah.
We can call this the first one.
We need to go to LA so we can see all the sites.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Actually,
before they redo that food court.
Before I came to New York, I was in LA for like a day and a half, and I went down to Pico House, which is funny because my business is Pico's house. And I took pictures there with, I met up with Jam. She's, if you've seen online her Funko Pops where she custom painted them, she has Jane and Lisbon and Cho and Rigsby. She's gonna make Van Pelt once she has time. But I brought my Legos, she brought her Pops, and we had fun taking photos there. You can check that out on my Instagram. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And we went to the Strawberries and Cream Mall. We haven't talked about that episode yet because that's in season 3. But Mentalist fans who listen to us know what that means. And
But you
we
talked
saw,
about
but
redemption.
redemption. We did happen. We were gonna go to lunch, and we had to pass through a Macy's, and I saw the escalator, and I was like, that's the escalator from Redemption. And she was like, oh my God. And she checked it on her phone. And she's like, it is. And we wouldn't have found it if we hadn't chosen to eat at that restaurant, and we had to walk through that Macy's. So, yeah.
And there was probably still glass in the corners.
There was a shooting there, too,
That
right?
was a lot of glass.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for now. So we'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you. Bye. Welcome to Rom-Com Detectives, episode 78, Semper Fi, Sissy Britches, the next episode in our Mentalist unit. Today, Karin, Neoshia, and I will be breaking down the 6th episode of season 2 called Black Gold and Red Blood. And Neoshia is joining us from Castle Unit as a Mentalist consultant because this is one of her favorite episodes. So from months ago, she was like, I gotta be a guest when it comes to Black Gold and Red Blood. The closer we got, she kept saying to me every now and then, remember, I want to be on for Black Gold and Red Blood.
Yes, I did not want anyone to forget that I wanted to come talk. This is actually my favorite episode, so I wanted to be here for this.
It's also my favorite episode. We learned this pretty early on when we were getting to know each other online, and so I was not going to let this recording go by without Neoshia joining us either. Even before she joined the podcast.
This is also my favorite. No, I'm just kidding. I felt left out.
We'll convince you. Mm-hmm. This episode originally aired on November 5th, 2009. It was written by Bruno Heller and directed by Rod Hardy.
All right, case briefing. What does the DVD booklet give us?
In the slammer for planting a bug in Bosco's office, Patrick sleuths a murder case from behind bars.
I like that one. Mm-hmm. Title relevance. Black gold is a reference to oil, and red blood refers to murder. Victim and cause of death, Kirby Hines, due to blunt force trauma. I don't know why the CBI got involved in this one. Did they say?
No.
I
mean, we could we could cobble together a guess that since there's oil money involved, some rich person called the CBI.
Yeah, that's true.
Could be. Also, the location is fictionalized, but it seems to be based on an area that is surrounded by private land. So that would also be a reason. But they mention the local cops being all over the crime scene. So, yeah, they don't. It's not clear.
The captions say that this is Sutter Valley Meadow, but I think later, Cho says it's Sutter Valley. So I think the meadow part is just in reference to the field that they're in.
Could be.
It's not the name of the town, I feel like. So the killer in this one is Sandrine Gerber, and the victim was gonna reveal their affair. Guest stars. This one is stacked with soap stars. Ashley Jones, who played Sandrine, she's from Young and the Restless and 800 episodes of Bold and the Beautiful. She's been on General Hospital and True Blood. I don't remember who, she was on True Blood, but I don't know. Her name was Daphne, but I don't recall the name Daphne. But I feel like she was maybe a waitress at the place that Arlene worked at. Did either of you watch True Blood?
I did, but this is not ringing any bells.
Yeah, I feel like she was her waitress friend or something at the bar. And then there's Erin Cahill. She played Donna Gerber. She's from Power Rangers Time Force. Eric Layden, who played Roddy Gerber. He's from Bosch and Bosch Legacy. He plays the LA Times reporter that Bosch talks to all the time. He was on an episode of Lucifer. He was on Liar Liar Slutty Dress on Fire. And then there's Madison Mason. He plays Ted Lascom. He was on The Pit recently, and he was on General Hospital as well. And then finally, there's William Russ, who plays Dooley Gerber. Oh my goodness!
What a name!
What a name! Can you imagine going to school with that name, Dooley?
No, but if you have enough money, it works.
But did they have money before all of this?
Maybe not.
It reminds me of Wedding Singer and how Julia's fiance, or his last name was Gulia.
Gulia.
Okay, but he was also on Bosch. He was on Colony, The Young and the Restless, and Boston Legal.
You left out his most important role.
What?
Is he not the guy that played the dad on Boy Meets World? Is that not him?
Yes, he was in Boy Meets World.
And he was on an episode of Stargate SG-1, but that doesn't matter as much as Boy Meets World.
I want to say Superman also, but I'm not seeing. I don't know.
That's what I know him from, is Boy Meets World.
All right, Jane's skills in the episodes, there's quite a few. He does cold reading, he does hypnosis, hypnotherapy, he tricks someone into confessing, he lies a lot, he does a jailbreak, and Karin put trapping mouse. Apparently one of his skills is vermin capturing.
He had to set up this whole like Rube Goldberg machine to catch a mouse, so I'd say that's a skill. Yeah. In prison, no less. Limited resources.
Okay, so let's get to the episode breakdown. Rigsby gives Jane and Lisbon the details on the victim. It's Kirby Hines. He's a local boy, and like it was mentioned earlier, the local cops have stomped all over the crime scene, so he doubts they'll get any forensics, which was a little confusing to me to say, because I mean they still have the body, right? They can get forensics from, and it was just a grassy field. I feel like that's not really going to be anywhere that's like crawling with forensics. And then Lisbon says, it's like they don't even watch TV. Even a toddler knows this kind of stuff. And I was just like...
I mean, I think that was the joke.
But I was like, Lisbon, you let Rigsby touch things without gloves.
Yeah, true.
But they talk to Pat, the medical examiner. We see her. She becomes like a small recurring character in this season. But she informs them that he was probably killed the day before. He was hit in the back of the head. Jane notices glitter on his right cheek, which is pivotal to how he cracks the case. And a commotion starts, and they look over, and a crowd has gathered at the crime scene line. And Lisbon goes with Cho over there. And Rigsby smiles at Van Pelt, and he's like, I think Jane knows. She tells him that he's being paranoid, but we all know that, okay, if he thinks that Jane knows, then Jane definitely knows.
Uh-huh.
At one point, I made a video edit for this episode that made it like a horror story, and I had Rigsby saying to Van Pelt, I think he knows. And then I had like that horror like stinger noise.
Do you still have that? Is it online anywhere?
I have it on Twitter. I have the edit. Yeah, I was thinking if I could probably put it somewhere else too. Make it easier
you
to
can
find.
put it up, and then I'll put in the show notes so that people can go watch it. So the crowd gets aggressive, and a man draws a hunting knife. It was a big knife.
Mm-hmm.
And Cho just immediately subdues him and arrests him, twisting his arm and everything, which was impressive. So Van Pelt is talking to this guy that Cho is leading away, and she's trying to get the family dynamic straight. He tells Lisbon that he's a free citizen of California, and he doesn't acknowledge the legitimacy of their authority. And Jane just like starts in on him, right? He's like, this guy is ripe for picking at.
I mean, this is how you have to handle sovereign citizens, because like there's no logic in being a sovereign citizen, and they just say the same things. And so I think here Jane is right. Like, this is how you handle someone like this.
Mm-hmm. I was watching another show that had a sovereign citizen. I believe it was set in Florida. And when they said they were going to go question the sovereign citizen, like there was much concern, like they're dangerous, be careful. And I was thinking of this episode. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, probably the danger just being like, would you get shot at?
Right.
And then also, like, they're going to tell you, like, oh, you're a tool of the United Nations and all this other stuff. You can't do anything to me. You can't give me a ticket because I'm a sovereign citizen.
But yeah, he's just he's mocking him nonstop until Lisbon's finally like, you, shush. So they're questioning the guy Luscombe. So why do you think they were questioning him in the bullpen? Did you notice that?
Yeah, but I also think it's one of those things where it's like for exposition, because we need to see Bosco like come in at this point.
But yeah, so they're talking to him at the bullpen, and Bosco's like, you're not gonna like this, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And then he has Jane arrested.
Dun dun dun.
Bosco informs Lisbon and Minelli that he found a bug in his office and traced the receiver back to Jane. Minelli is like, "Is this true? Were you spying?" And I love when he says, "Spying is such an ugly word. More like just keeping a friendly eye on things." Does he use that ugly word thing more than once? I feel like he does.
I think he does.
I can't remember what it is though.
Like in other episodes, you mean? Or
Yeah, but just not like the spying. Like if something else is such an ugly word, I feel like he uses that somewhere else too.
Yep.
But Minelli wants to know if Lisbon knew, and she's like, "Of course I didn't." And then they tell him that what he did means like it could mean a year in jail.
Which, by the way, that means it's only a misdemeanor. So it's not even that serious of a crime.
So I looked into it. It could be tried as a misdemeanor or a felony, depending on the context of it.
And is it called eavesdropping?
Yes.
Because I thought like if it was going to be anything, it would be like illegal surveillance or something like that, you know. But he specifically says it's eavesdropping.
And also, too, like, I don't know, Karin, in your research, like, because this seems to me like, so there's some states that are one-party recording states where you only need the permission of one party. So the person recording, if they consent to recording you, then that's good enough. And then there's other states that's like a two-party recording state where both parties have to agree. So you have to be like, oh, I'm recording this, right? Which I think is why some of the people that when they call you, they're like, this call is being recorded. To let you know.
Sure. Yep.
But do you know if like that is in any way connected to the seriousness of it? Or if that came up at all?
It's intentionally recording or eavesdropping on a confidential communication without consent. It mentions two-party or all-party.
So it's a two-party state.
And it's intentional. Because, I mean, I was just thinking like, that seems like kind of broad. Like, what if you're using the bathroom?
Yeah.
And then two cops come in and they start talking about a case and you're like, you're trapped there, right?
Yeah.
You can't help but listen to them, right? But is that considered eavesdropping if you're like...
No, it does specify it has to do with intentionally eavesdropping and like recording.
Mm-hmm. Like probably using communication devices, right? Like, or telecom devices to like listen in.
Yeah.
Like illegal wiretapping.
Also known as spying.
Yeah.
That's such an ugly word.
Such an ugly word.
But like Jane tries to tell Bosco, he tells him it's because Bosco has the red junkies and won't keep him informed. And he tries to tell them, you know, I could have done worse. I could have like tried to turn one of his agents. I could have blackmailed them or bribed them. And I love that Bosco's like, what?
Yeah. I mean, it's like when a kid gets in trouble and it's like, well, it could have been this, right? But I only did this instead.
Then Bosco drops the hammer, though. He's like, I will drop the charges if you agree to leave the CBI and never return.
Oh, boy.
So what did you guys think of Bosco at this point?
I have complicated Bosco feelings, as we talked about with episode 1.
Me too. And I feel like your opinion changes as the season goes on, right? Mm-hmm. People, I think, maybe retroactively like him a little bit more than he might deserve. You know what I mean?
It's really the next season where they start to make him more likable. Or next episode. What did I say?
Next season. I was like, next season? What?
He becomes likable. No. Yeah, he becomes likable from the grave.
Right. I missed the secret Bosco season.
Yeah.
Oh,
heard
if
it
only.
Here first. Yeah.
No, the next episode is when they make him more likable. And this one, I don't think we're supposed to like him at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like him in this episode. Like, because for me, it's the idea of, on one hand, I get why he's there. I get the purpose of Minelli calling Bosco in because it's like Lisbon needs an intervention when it comes to Jane, but also kind of weird because Minelli is the one that foisted Jane onto Lisbon, we later learn, but was apparently before this. Anyway, so, I mean, it's weird. It's a weird dynamic because he's here for an intervention for Lisbon. And it does seem like he's going a little bit overboard and trying to basically blackmail Jane into quitting. And so I don't love the tactic he's taking here. But overall, I get his purpose and why he's doing it. But I think you're right. It's all retroactive.
I think it's so complicated though because it gets muddled when they bring in his love interest in her, because if
Mhm.
that was not a factor, then you could argue that, Bosco's just he's just a straight laced cop and he just wants what's best for the CBI, blah blah blah. But you bring in this love thing and then now it's like he's just trying to get rid of his competition, right? So
Yep.
just it
I
paints
Yep.
him in
There's
an additionally bad light. So
I don't see it that way because for me, no, well, I mean, okay, obviously Karen, but like I don't see it that way. Not entirely because I think that the love interest thing is something that kind of gets tacked on sort of for the laugh value that we'll talk about when we get there in this episode. But this is the part of the series where I really get into like sort of my own theory about what the show is doing and what Bruno Heller kind of had mapped out for this show to do and what kind of sets it apart from some of its competitors or contemporaries, whatever we want to call them, is that like I think to some degree Bosco is a straight-laced cop. But as I think the Mentalist shows us, there's a lot of corruption and there's a lot of power to corrupt. There's a lot of ways in which cops can become corrupt. And even though they're holding this line of like, I'm a really good cop and I'm here for the mission and I'm not a bad apple, most of the people in this show are bad apples in some way, shape, or form. And those who start out as being the good guys and who we love, I mean, I'm not saying they're all bad and wrong, but we start to see the corruption kind of creep up throughout the series. And Bosco highlights that in this episode. So that's kind of where I see it, not necessarily the romantic piece, because to me it feels tacked on.
I guess like I mean to me that just makes it complicated. But for me, I don't like the way that he's basically forcing things to happen this way.
Mhm.
He's like
Yep.
he's not good for Lisbon, so I'm gonna get rid of him. It just feels
Yes.
very not aggressive, but I know what's best for you kind of thing.
Yes, paternalistic,
That's what I
right?
don't like. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I think that's definitely a thing here. And again, like I get what they're doing with the intervention for Lisbon, but even that's a little weird because Manelli's the boss and he's the one that said
Yeah.
Jane should be here. So if you don't want Jane here, just get rid of him, right? Like he has the authority to do that,
Yeah,
but he has
that's
to
true.
bring in Bosco to basically talk Lisbon off the ledge when it comes to Jane because they're too close. It's a little weird. It's weird and paternalistic, I think, both from Manelli's perspective and also Bosco's.
Yeah. For Bosco, I was just like, who do you think you are, man?
No, and I mean, like, I'm not even countering your position. I just think I see it a little bit differently in terms of the storyline and how it fits into like the overarching theme of corruption throughout the show.
Jane's like, well, charge me. He basically like calls his bluff, right? He's like, I'm not leaving the CBI just because you want me to. And Bosco says, well, given what day it is, you're going to spend 3 days and 3 nights in jail at least. And Jane's like, well, it's a new experience and I welcome it. I remember when I first saw this, I was like, oh, this is going to be so good.
Do we know what holiday this was supposed to be though? Because it seems to me that it's a 3-day holiday weekend.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, they don't say.
Yep.
Okay,
No clue. Nope.
yeah, I mean, maybe it's just written that way because it's supposed to be like you're going to spend 3 days in jail because of this.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so Jane is taken to jail, and as he's checked in, the guards are discussing that whether any vermin have been spotted, and this is to do with Jane's breakout later. But one tells another that he's being paranoid. He's just like, I know what I saw. I know what I saw. So I think from here, Jane surmises that this guy is like not just he hasn't just seen vermin; he's scared of them too. Just I think from the tone of his voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the guy says that the arresting officer, which I guess is Bosco, right, has recommended protective custody, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, I don't like you, but I think you need protective custody.
I don't know. Maybe Lisbon made him put that in there, or
Oh, maybe.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't specify it.
He doesn't like him, but he also doesn't want him to get killed in prison or in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that would solve so many of his problems.
It
But-
would, but he's not that kind of cop yet.
Yet.
the guard asks him if he needs protective custody because he's like, are you a cop or a child rapist? And she's like, neither. And he basically just denies it. So he's escorted to his cell. So what does protective custody mean? Not just like people watching him, but does that mean he would get his own cell?
I think so. Could mean solitary confinement even though. Like
Okay.
like whatever they have to do to essentially ensure that they're safe and not
Okay.
being attacked.
Yeah, because this is still jail, right? Not prison. So it's
Yeah.
more about a short stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, could be solitary.
So
Yeah,
what is the
'cause-
distinction? Jail is where you are when you're like awaiting trial or under arrest and pending things, and prison is when you're sentenced to it, right? And you're
yeah,
like
you've been
long term.
convicted. Yeah. So jail, you could see people in jail for I think up to 1 year for misdemeanor
Mm.
crimes. Um but yeah, that's if you get arrested, let's say like for example, it's a DUI, you get arrested, you're being taken to a jail. Prison
Mm,
comes when you're convicted of some kind of crime and
of a
sentenced
crime.
to a yeah,
Okay.
and sentenced to some period of confinement.
So Jane is taken to his cell. His cellmate is a big dude. This conversation, oh my god. He asks him, "What did you do?" And he's like, "I'm accused of raping and murdering a guy." But he says, "It's not true. We had consensual sex. And then I stabbed him to death."
It's just so reassuring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just wonder about that scene too, like to me that he's putting Jane on. Like he didn't really do that. Like that's not what he's in for, but I think it's the way he
He's just
established his
messing with
dominance. Yeah.
I can see that. Okay, this next part kind of cracked me up because Van Pelt's reading a notebook and I was like pausing and reading all the stuff. And then I unpause and Van Pelt goes, "Kirby wouldn't win any penmanship awards. It's mostly illegible." And I was like, I was just reading it.
Yes.
His writing was perfectly fine.
They make it very easy for us to read, in fact. I mean,
Mhm.
like they're not even like zipping past it with the camera. They're like, check out this notebook that Van Pelt's reading.
Mhm.
Van Pelt needs reading glasses. That's the takeaway here. But Chol goes to talk to Ted Rascom, and now he's in the interrogation room. He asks about the beef with the Hines, and this isn't the first time we hear his name is Kimball, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it.
Because I don't know, I thought it kind of stuck out where he was like, "If you're gonna call me by my first name, but I don't know yours," and he's like, "Well, you can just call me Kimball." You know, it kind of stuck out as being like intentional, and I was just like, have we heard his name before? I don't know.
I don't know, but I think that's another one of those writing choices because it does really stick out, right? Like no one calls him that. Everyone calls him
Mm-mm.
Cho.
Yep.
But he gives him the background. He says that the land where Kirby was found was his grandfather's, and 20 years ago, his uncle Roy stole it and sold it to the Gerbers. And when Cho asks how much the land is worth, he's like, "It's not how much. It's not the land. It's the oil sands." And so, what are oil sands? What does that mean?
Well,
Did no one Google it?
my
No,
best guess is that it's a medium that needs to be processed. That's a pain to process, but you can get oil out of it.
if I had to guess, I would say it's fracking. We're talking about fracking because
Ah.
that's where you have the land, but the oil is so far beneath it. You have to. I'm going to mess this up. I've heard someone has explained it to me before, but essentially you have to get way down in there and then you kind of go sideways, and that's how you're getting the oil. And so the land itself is nothing, but it's the deposits is what they're after.
Mm,
So you didn't Google it either, Crystal?
No.
no. But he says that makes it worth $50 to $60 million, and he took them to court last year, but he didn't win. We go back to jail again, and it's nighttime. Gene is having a deep conversation with his cellmate about his father, and he's like, "I really appreciate you listening to me." And
I mean-
this is what I was looking forward to. I was like, how is Jane going to handle jail? How is he going to take over this place, basically, right? And
Right.
he starts off like this, and I like that they're just going right into it.
I mean, there's lots of jailhouse lawyers. There's like the jailhouse hair people, like people who do your hair in jail. And here we have jailhouse psychiatrist or
Yes.
therapist, Jane.
So Bosco comes to Lisbon in her office, and this scene is like probably what bothers me the most about Bosco in this episode, because he comes here and he's like, my beef is only with Jane, and I don't have a problem with the rest of you. And I was just like, the nerve of this guy. I mean, he is just saying that I don't have a problem with you guys, just Jane. But I'm gonna break up your team, right? Just because I feel like I know what's best, right? So he calls Jane a whack job. And he says, but that's in the past now. And I hope we can continue our good working relationship. And I got even more angry. I was like, oh my God. Just the way he's so condescending to her.
In what universe did you think that calling Jane a whack job would earn you points with Lisbon?
Yeah, I mean, I keep going back to like the whole purpose he's there, right, is to kind of like basically pull them apart. That's what Manelli wanted because he thought she was becoming too dependent on Jane. But I actually agree with your take on this like paternalism here, because like it to me it reads as one of those types of relationships or relationship you have with a person who will do whatever, like they'll do something to you and you'll feel it, you'll be upset about it, and then they decide that they don't want to be upset about it anymore, so then it's just time for us to move on. Like you know what, let's just put that behind us, we'll be okay, we'll be friends. And it doesn't really take into effect what you feel about the situation, right? Like how Lisbon here feels about like, you know, not just breaking up her team, but at some level when Manelli brings Bosco in, he is questioning her judgment and her ability to run her team. So there is that.
And I feel like this, like hypothetically, this speaks to what he would be like in a relationship with Lisbon. He would always just be like making decisions and being like, okay, well, that's what I felt was best. So just deal with it, you know?
If only fan fictions like that existed.
Wait, what are you saying? You're saying they do, or are you saying that you wish they would?
I think they do. I think they do exist, Crystal. And
okay.
you know, I think some of us just have daddy issues. But moving on.
It's not my thing.
Fair enough.
Jane and his cellmate bed down for the night, and Jane looks ready to like happily fall asleep. He looks like relaxed and everything. And Boo tells him, "Oh, don't worry about tomorrow morning. There are some scary people here, and they all know you're a cop." So Jane's like, "But I'm not a cop."
Cop adjacent.
Cop adjacent.
Yeah, as Mr. Castle would say.
But Boo says they have don't worry, they have excellent medical facilities here. This guy is so funny. But yeah, James sighs heavily, and it's like, oh, now he's not going to be able to sleep, right?
Right. And I feel like we finally get a genuine reaction from Jane in this moment, because nobody can see him. It's dark and he's on the top bunk. No one can see his face except for us. We could see that he is genuinely concerned about what might come next.
Yeah.
And it kind of seems like he was probably like feeling relaxed because I've set myself up. I've got this guy in my corner. I can go to sleep now, right? And now it's like, oh, what?
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of this scene from Criminal Minds, like early Criminal Minds. I think like the 5th episode of Criminal Minds even, where one of the characters who's sort of like this nerdy character, big brains, Spencer Reed, people who watch that show, he's told by one of his mentors, like, your brain is your weapon, because he can't shoot. Like, he's really bad at like the physical aspects of being an agent, but his mentor is like, your brain is your weapon. And to me, that's how this scene reads with Jane, because like, yeah, he's genuinely concerned, but I get the sense that he's working through like how he's going to like work his way through this, right? Talk his way out of it. He's going to talk his way out of getting
I still feel like he's sighing because like he was ready to go to sleep, but now he's got to think some more on how to survive tomorrow, right?
Yeah. He's a survivalist for sure.
So the next day, Lisbon and Van Pelt head to the Gerbers. Van Pelt looks really distracted, and Lisbon's like, "What's wrong? What was she thinking about? Was she really thinking? Do you think she was telling the truth when she says she's just thinking about Jane?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or was she thinking?
I haven't thought much about what Van Pelt was thinking about.
Could go either way here.
Yeah, and I mean, she's actually out with Lisbon, which is
Yeah.
still rare at this point. So she actually gets to talk to suspects or not family
Persons
of
of
the
interest.
person. There you go. She gets to finally talk with the people of interest, and yeah, maybe there's a little Rigsby thoughts in the background. I feel like it goes that direction for sure when they're talking about
Yeah.
they're
Talking to
talking to the
the wife.
victim's wife and just their relationship and how it's really layered, a lot of layers in their relationship.
So
Yeah.
Jane enters the common area. It's the morning with all the scary people, and everyone goes quiet. And he tells him good morning. They immediately call him a pig, and he denies it. And he says he works with the police using his skills. And then somebody asks him, "What kind of skills?" And he says he goes and he talks to this one guy. He says he's the leader, and he just basically talks circles around him. But at this point, is he already like talking to him in a like hypnotizing him?
I think he's bringing him under his control. I mean, to me, this scene reads like this Monique, the comedian, a sketch that she did that I can't say because of our rating. But the essential concept here is basically that he's coming in and he's kind of bringing the leader of the ecosystem, if you will, under his control. And so I
Uh-huh.
think he's already started that process, right? Because he does get him
Yeah.
to shut up, right? He gets him off the task of like pounding his face in.
But yeah, and then like the guy looks confused, and Jane's like, "Where's the phone? I gotta make a phone call." And then instead of like you
Yeah.
said, kicking his ass, he's like, "Oh, it's over there." Very compliant, right?
Yeah. Like he establishes dominance, right? Like that's what he's doing.
He does, yeah, because he does a cold reading on him, right? So,
Hmm.
but Mrs. Gerber and her daughter served them cookies and lemonade, and she says that it's hard dealing with her husband's death because their marriage had just been getting better. And she talks about how I think it was they're married and they live on the Gerber family land. Is that it?
I think so.
That's why
Like
she's talking
it's
about how he felt like
serious.
he felt squashed up by them or something. It's
Mhm.
because they live in like so close to the family or something.
Like it's a
Yep.
compound maybe.
Yeah, but like you can see what she's talking about with when you meet Dooley. She says Kirby was being more open with her about his feelings, and she says, "You know how men can be." And Van Pelt gives a "Yes, we do," and that makes Lisbon's radar go up. She's like, "You do?"
We do.
But she says Kirby was a good provider, and then Lisbon asks about the oil money and how much that was going to be, and she says that was going to be about 80,000 a year, and she said it was for the was it distant cousins? So I guess other people were going to be getting more than that, and I was just like, wow, per year, that's like a full salary of just like getting money in.
Yep.
But Lisbon, like, she just comes out guns blazing after this. She's like, you know what? This means you have motive. And, you know, if you're having trouble with your husband, that casts you in a really bad light. And he would have been entitled to half. And he had she mentions that he had old bruises on his body, meaning he was badly beaten up a few weeks ago. But she says she doesn't know anything about that. Back in jail, Jane has hypnotized the leader. He's talked to him about his glue sniffing, and he's trying to get he's trying to get him to stop, right?
Because he's a
Yeah.
terror. Yeah. Scares everybody.
Yep. They did discuss that when Jane was doing his initial cold reading,
Yeah.
that this guy kind of wanted to stop sniffing glue to get high.
But that's how he controls people, because the glue makes him as aggressive as he needs to be the leader, right?
Yep.
So Jane is Paige because he has a visitor, and I think when I saw this, I thought it was going to be Lisbon, but it's
Mhm.
Cho.
Cho.
And this is the thing we've talked about throughout the show so far, is that Cho is loyal to Jane in his own way, right? He does things, he involves him even when like maybe Lisbon doesn't know. So he's brought him the
Mhm.
case notes, he's brought him a copy of this illegible notebook. And I thought it was so cute. He goes, and there's some Sudoku puzzles. And like the
Yes.
smile that they exchange is like, oh, you know me. Thanks. It's so cute.
I just think it's funny that they're literally bringing him the case file in jail. Like, they're still having him solve the case while he's in jail.
I know you're under arrest, but can you help?
Yeah, this is probably all going to get thrown out, but like, we do need your help on this.
So he does tell him about the beating that Kirby had gotten, and how nobody seems to be telling him anything about it. Lisbon goes to talk to Dooley Gerber, and he doesn't know anything either. His wife approaches, and he's like, "Are you sick? You're wearing sweats, and you've got no makeup on. Your hair is tied up." And I was just like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
The men in
But I
this
mean-
episode.
But I mean, okay, look at the age gap there, right? Like, why did he marry Sandrine?
Yeah.
Pretty obvious.
It kind of like read to me like he was like being like, "Why do you look like this? You look terrible. Go and like pretty yourself up." And
Yeah, she's a trophy
it
wife.
was like scolding her, right? So
Yeah, she's a trophy wife who doesn't look like a trophy right now. She
why
should
are you
look
walking
better.
around like that?
Yeah.
But this one asks Sandrine who she thinks killed Kirby, and she's like, "I don't know. Isn't that your job?" And Mr. Gerber is sorry that Kirby's dead, but he's not sorry that his daughter is no longer married to a loser. It's like, jeez.
Yeah.
He says he liked being poor and had no vision.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
vision.
implies that he knows about the whole vulture thing, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
This whole vulture thing kind of sounds like it was a big family fuss or something. Like it wasn't just Roddy who beat him up. I think maybe I mean Roddy says he's the one who beat him up, but I feel like maybe the whole family knew and Roddy's the only one who acted on it. So because why else would he say that he liked being poor? It kind of sounds like he's criticizing him for like wanting to make it so that they couldn't collect the money.
That, and I also get the sense that, when we get to the resolution stage of the crime, it sounds like he has some scruples. And
Yep.
if he has scruples, I guess morals, maybe he's being asked to do things that he's not comfortable with for money reasons. And he's like, no. And so it's like, oh, so you want to be poor then? And so I don't know. Like, that's kind of what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
Yeah, his wife does specify that he had a solid career and he was, enough to live on. So this aspect of the father-in-law saying that he wanted to be poor, it's very biased.
No, so basically, because he wants to live on a normal people's salary, he likes
Yep.
being poor. He doesn't want that
Right.
$60 million payout.
Right.
I do feel like that it's fitting that this guy who calls him a loser was actually sleeping with his wife. He's not that much of a loser, apparently.
No, apparently not at all.
And maybe you shouldn't have been telling your wife to dress up so much.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just a very stereotypical, like, older man marries younger woman who's supposed to be dolled up, and she's sleeping with somebody else because she's like, no. So really, who's the loser? It's probably not the guy who's dead, but anyway.
No tears are being shed here for Julie Gerber.
Mm-mm.
Cho and Rigsby approach Bosco, and Rigsby's like, "If you help us out with Jane, we'll owe you big time." And so Bosco's like, "Oh, if I reach out to ask you to do stuff, nothing illegal, a little rule bending, you'll say okay." And Cho's like, "That's no problem." And Bosco's like, "Well, that is the problem because that means that Jane has corrupted you."
This is a defining scene for me for the whole show. Because I
Yep.
think Bosco is right, but not necessarily about Jane being the corruptor. It's the whole system.
But when you add this scene in with the knowledge at the end of the episode that Bosco has skeletons in his
Mhm.
closet, it's like, is he trying to prevent them from making the same mistakes he did? But he doesn't reference that at all. It's just comes across as
Mm-hmm.
whatever this is. Like he's annoying.
Well, at least Bosco
Yeah.
didn't have to be around for when the whole thing with Bertram went down because I think
Yeah.
he would have been very upset.
Well, I mean, because we see this come back around with a different character in season 5. And I'm not going to say exactly which character and what the plot line is, where, another character basically makes the same type of comment, which is like, you've essentially corrupted this person. And then we find out that character's corrupted too, right? So it's a whole cycle of people just being corrupt and being
Yeah.
like, I'm going to enforce these rules. But it's like, you're all really corrupt. And it's because the system corrupts, right? You guys get all this power. and you do things and you get away with it. And, Bosco being like, this is the problem. Jane is corrupting you to do anything, when he knows darn well that, like, he's actually a corrupter himself. And he's corrupted, and he's a corrupter himself, because he's the one he's corrupted Saint Teresa.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry for the end of the episode spoiler. I hope you watch the episode.
Okay, so Jane reads a notebook and he's contemplating the vulture's note. I love that the ringleader in the jail is just sitting groggily next to him, like, and he's like mumbling, like he's actually helping him. He's like, vultures pee on their legs to cool themselves. Like not helping him, but he's giving input. Like he's in a state, but he's conscious enough where he can talk to Jane about what Jane is like talking to himself about. I thought that was so amusing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still sniffing too. But he calls Cho and tells him that Heinz was a bird watcher. And Cho's like, oh, so it was a dead end. He's like, well, no, it was a breakthrough. And he tells him he needs to speak to Roddy Gerber. So he wants him to bring Roddy Gerber to the jail. He's like, no, I can't do that. And he tells him Rigsby's going to go talk to him. So just tell me what you want to ask. And Rigsby will ask him. He's like, where's the fun in that? he says, I'll take care of it. And he hangs up. Oh my God. I love the look on Cho's face. He's like, uh-oh, what have I done?
Because Jane will find a way.
It's like, it's very like, what does that mean? Uh-oh. Okay, so has Jane gotten the run of the jail so much that he's free to make however many phone calls as he
That's
wants?
what I was wondering. Like, how is he making all these phone calls? Like, usually when you depict people in jail, like they're fighting over the phone or it's very regimented. But
he's got the leader in his pocket, and the leader's just like, this is his phone for now.
I guess nobody else wants to use the phone today.
Yeah, or like he's promised so many people therapy that they're like, please take my phone time. He's traded so much therapy.
He's got phone tickets.
He's just hypnotizing them all.
Yeah.
Like, no.
You really want to give me your phone privileges. But he calls Rigsby, and I thought it was funny that Rigsby answers the phone, and he already knows it's Jane, I guess, from the caller idea. He says, hey, what does he call him? He calls him, hey, Jelly, or he calls him some kind of nickname. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think you got it, Jelly.
But he's just telling him that, I think Roddy Gerber is going to be hostile and aggressive, so be careful. And I love that Rigsby's like, I can handle Roddy Gerber.
So can I tell you what is a big plot hole for me in this episode?
Oh, what?
Because what Jane did here should not have worked. Because when you make phone calls from jail, usually the person on the other end has to accept them first.
Yeah, isn't there usually an operator saying accept the charges or something like
accept the charges for so-and-so in jail. And that did not happen here. And so, like, that's the plot hole that I found. Guess he doesn't know. I guess Bruno Heller doesn't know too many jailies.
But Jane then calls Roddy, and he's pretending to be Rigsby, and he's just riling him up. He said, I heard that you and Kirby were having a secret sexual relationship. I was just like, oh my God, he's really going for it. He denies it vehemently, and he says that he was in the Marine Corps, and Jane's like, well, I was ex-army. We'll sort it out when I come to see you. And that's when he says our episode title. He says, Semper 5, Sissy Britches. And then I love the way Jane hangs up and he like jumps away from the phone. Like he's like, oh my God, did I just do that?
Yes.
It's such a Jane move and I love it. But when Rigsby arrives, Roddy just sucker punches him immediately.
This sequence is so good. It's like, I think this is my favorite part of the episode. It's just this sequence.
Okay, but the look on Rigsby's face, do you think he's thinking, okay, Jane just warned me about this, and suddenly I show up and I get punched in the face? He looks like he thinks, oh my God, Jane set me up for this.
Yeah. It looks like, I think Rigsby understands he's been set up, but also it's one of those like, oh, you're going to jail.
Yeah. Like, oh, we're going to start it off like this, huh? Yeah. Roddy's brought to jail, right to Jane, as he wants him, right? He's like, hello, thanks for coming. Ah, my goodness. This is peak Jane, like playfulness. I love it. But they play a game, and Jane's asking about Kirby finding vultures on the land. He basically has figured it all out already, and like Roddy's involvement. He's saying that because he found the vultures, that means they couldn't drill for oil, and that Roddy probably told him, but he wouldn't tell him where the nest is, so that's why he beat him up. And he eventually he kind of tricks him. And I like that the gang leader is there too, or that the jail leader is there too. He's like, "But you admit you did it." He's like invested.
Yeah. I mean, he might become a consultant next. You never know. Once he stops sniffing that glue, he might be on a different path.
But he tells him that when you did get him to tell you, you destroyed the nest. And so, yeah, he says that he did, but he says he didn't kill Kirby. So next we get the team arguing who's going to ask her to do it. And they're talking about Lisbon. She walks in. She's like, "Who are you talking about?" And they're like, "Well, we want you to talk to Bosco because it's so clear that he has a thing for you and he'll do whatever you say." And she's like, "What are you guys talking about?"
This is the moment where HR should have been called. This is such an HR moment. I'm sorry. But like, them like, "Oh, because he has a thing for you." And I love, my personal favorite part of the scene actually is how like Cho and Rigsby kind of wimp out. Like, because they're all three talking about it, and they kind of wimp out and make Van Pelt say it because I think they know that this is a problem that they're even talking about this. And so I love that part because Van Pelt's the one that actually has to come out and say, "Well, he kind of has a thing for you. So we thought he would, do something for you if you just kind of went and batted your eyelashes at him."
I like what Van Pelt said to Cho, that he should do it because he's so blunt.
Yes. And then Cho does add his clarification. It's a sexual thing.
Yeah, sexual thing.
Yeah, it's a sexual thing. HR nightmare right here, folks.
But I mean, Lisbon nips it in the bud. She's like, even if he was interested, I'm not gonna leverage that to help Jane. And then right then, Jane calls, and she's like, "Oh, hi, Jane."
Mm-hmm.
The timing of this scene was really good. But and Anna, oh my god, I love this phone call. "Lisbon, can you come see me?" I love his and blueberry muffin.
And he's only been, mind you, he's only been without Lisbon for 24 hours at this point.
Yeah. But he's not actually sad, right? He's just faking it so that he can get her to come.
Yeah, like he's, "Please come see me." Yeah, just an emotional manipulation. The Jane kind.
Yes, the best kind.
She arrives with a little white bag. He comes in, and oh my god, I think this is probably my favorite scene in the entire season, when he looks into the bag and he looks back up at her and he groans because he sees it's not a blueberry muffin. Like, she's gone to a shop and she's bought him a muffin, brought it to jail for him, and he's just kind of like, "This is not what I asked for." It turns out that he wanted her to come so that he could be in the visitor's room. And I want to know about the timing. How did he know? Is it because they're all visited at the same time?
I mean, it feels that way. It's a pretty hopping room.
Yeah, like a visiting hours kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. But he needed to get into the visitor's room because he needed to talk to Dooley, right?
Yes.
He goes up to him and he asks, "Did you kill your son-in-law?" And the guy doesn't answer. And he's just like, "Who are you?" He notices the glare on his face. He goes back to Lisbon. And actually, I said earlier that this was my favorite scene in the season, but I think it's actually, this is like one of my favorite lines when she says, "I don't need a gun. I can just hit you with my chair." And he says, "I think you'll find it's bolted to the floor."
Yeah, so I think, now that you mentioned that this being one of your favorite lines, I do remember back in 2020, one of the folks on Twitter in the Mentalist fandom made a fan video of like, this is when the Things Jane, Things Lisbon, like those types of videos were really popular. And a lot of the things that Jane says in that fan video came from this episode.
Such a good one, and it's so many good scenes. Just interaction, and oh my god, Lisbon looks so good too. Like, her makeup is just flawless, and she's like glowy. I don't know what it is. She just looks really good in this scene.
She had 24 hours without Jane. She had time to do her makeup.
She had a good night's sleep.
Yeah. No phone calls about Jane doing something wild. She got to do her makeup.
She asked what he learned. He says that the question he asked was the control question, and his next one is the critical one. But does he actually go to ask him the critical question? We don't get to see that, right?
No, I think he was just talking.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so they talk about like why he's there, and she asks if he understands what's going on because it's serious and he could get an actual prison sentence. And he's like, I know you're just keeping me here to teach me a lesson because you could get me out anytime you wanted by just playing up Bosco's feelings for you. And she mentions that Rigsby said the same thing, and he's impressed that they noticed it too, because he says Bosco is very recessive in his passion. And then she tells him these are real prison walls, and he says only in your mind, Lisbon. Only in your mind.
I mean, do we think that Lisbon has an inkling that he's romantically interested in her? Because I just get the sense, like I said earlier, this romance thing is kind of just tacked on for the comedic value in this episode. Like, I didn't get the sense.
I've never been a fan of it, just because, I mean, like, you're right, it does set up a lot of funny scenes and a lot of funny lines. But at the same time, I just find it kind of irritating and extra, and I don't really see it. It doesn't really make sense to me.
I think it adds a dimension to the conflict between Bosco and Jane, which we did talk about a little before, which I really enjoy adding that dimension to it. And it does play out, on a couple episodes. But no, I don't think we really see it here. We don't get the payoff that they're setting up.
Yeah.
He's too recessive, basically. I mean, yeah. I don't
He's super recessive.
It's night again. Jane gives half his muffin to the cellmate, and then he begins his whole jailbreak plan. He uses the muffin crumbs, the bag, and put strips from his sheet to catch a mouse. And then in the morning, Boo is screaming that Jane is unconscious, and he's like lying down in the middle of the floor. And I'm just like, ew. I don't think they mopped that area. But he's wheeled out on a gurney, and he's left near the guard, who was the one who was like, I know what I saw, when he's talking about the mice. And you can see that Jane's hand is like bulging, so he's got the mouse in there. And he shivers and he's mumbling, and the guy comes close to him, and then that's when Jane lets the mouse go and the guy freaks out. He takes his jacket and he walks out, and somebody sees him and they try to stop him, but he just keeps going.
Or they hesitate. Yeah. So the jacket's too big and he's still wearing his jail garb. But yeah, he is acting confident and he gets out.
You just got to walk with confidence.
Yep.
Next we see Jane walking down the road to the Gerber house, and he's wearing a suit. He's like tossing his jacket. He's got a leaf in his mouth, and I see people ask this all the time on the sub, like, where did Jane get his change of clothes? And then next we have Minelli waking Lisbon up. She's sleeping on the conference table. So do you think she's no longer getting good rest? Is she now just worried about Jane because of the things he says?
I don't think she's sleeping. I thought she had her head down because she was stressed out, because she's already heard. I think she's already heard about this. That was my take. I didn't think she was sleeping. I just thought it was one of those like, my head is down because like this is not happening.
Oh, okay.
I thought she was sleeping.
Yeah, I thought she was sleeping.
I could see it the other way too.
But Bosco says they have an APB out, and him and Minelli want her to like try to bring him in, and she's like, well, how am I supposed to even contact him? And then that's when Bosco's phone rings, and it's Jane, and he says he's at Dooley Gerber's house, and I think it's awake, right? Because there's all kinds of people at the house.
Yeah, can I say something really quickly about the scene with Minelli and Bosco and Lisbon? I do think one thing that kind of irks me about this episode a little bit, I mean, I love it. It's my favorite. But something I find irksome about the storyline in general is this sort of how people are like playing on Lisbon's relationships to these two men to get them to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is Manelli and Bosco basically come up with the same thing that Jane, Van Pelt, Rigsby, and Cho did to Lisbon in terms of Bosco. It's like, can't you just use your little feminine wiles to like convince him to do the right thing? And she's getting that from like all angles here. And it's just like, I don't think we would do that to a male lead of a team. It's just kind of like playing on like, can't you just bat your eyelashes and make this happen? Anyway.
Yeah. But Jane's like, if you send the sheriff's department, I'll have the killer in about 10 minutes. Manelli calls him a fool, and Jane hangs up on him. And so Dooley had overheard him on the phone. He's like, what is this about catching the killer? And Jane's like, do you have tea? They do get him tea, though. But Jane starts talking to the family. He's like asking Donna how she felt about her brother beating up her husband, and she feels guilty for not listening to her husband, saying that the money made them all like it blinded them. And Jane points out that Kirby and Dooley had glitter on their faces, and that Sandrine likes to wear glitter. And I feel like they didn't include that. Like, they just have him state that she likes to wear glitter, but they didn't have him like notice that she wears glitter. You know what I mean? Like on screen.
Yeah, and I was also wondering too, is this like she has glitter in her highlighter, or is she actually wearing glitter?
Yeah, I don't
She's
know.
a grown woman.
Not
Yeah.
sure.
And it was kind of a big smudge too on both of their faces.
Yeah. And I feel like this is why she wasn't wearing makeup in the previous scene, because they didn't want us to pick up on that too early. And Jane obviously could not know it for sure until he left the jail and met her.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of, he wanted to force that interaction.
But yeah, they don't show him seeing it though.
Mm-mm.
And maybe she's just one of those people that it's like, if he just says it, like she likes to wear glitter, it might trip her up.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna walk back what I just said about the highlighter. Like, she's a grown woman who wears glitter. This is like 2009, and glitter was a thing. Like, glitter was everywhere. I remember prom in like the mid 2000s. I remember going to nightclubs in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Glitter was everywhere. Like it was just everywhere.
I
Right, you
wear
came home.
glittery eyeshadow, so
Well, yeah, I mean, like today it's you can just wear your glitter eyeshadow. It's in your highlighter sometimes, but like I'm talking about like full on packed
like body
glitter.
glitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
disgusting.
But I thought it was funny that she tells Jane, "You're stupid." I cracked up laughing when she
Yes.
said that. But Jane like starts laying it all out. He's like saying that Kirby gave you a heads up and he was going to tell everyone about the affair you guys were having. And she's like, she denies it. And he's like, well, we found a DNA match in the glitter on both of you and the police are on their way. And he's totally bluffing here, but because he just wants her to confess, right? And what she says, Kirby made me do it. What does that mean? Like, made me have an affair with him? Is that what she's saying?
Yeah, I think that's what she's trying to tell her husband, so that it doesn't look like she's having an affair. Like, oh, he forced himself on me, like that kind of thing.
Yep.
But wow, she gets a full face slap from the wife.
Yep.
And then she hears the sirens going, and so that makes her like actually like confess. But then the sheriff arrives and says, Patrick Jane, come out.
And everyone's like, wait, what's going on?
But Jane's like, there's no takebacks. He goes outside and he's arrested again. Lisbon goes to see Bosco and she tells him that Jane closed the case. And Bosco's like, well, the AG probably doesn't have a case. But, I mean, Lisbon's here to do what everyone's been asking, but in her own way, right? She tells him that if this has gone too far, and she wants him to drop the charges. And she says that if he doesn't, she's going to tell everyone about what happened 8 years ago. And he's just floored. Like, he's like, you wouldn't do that. And he's like, it's something, because he says, you'd ruin both our lives and careers for Jane. So it's serious. And she says, he closes cases.
He closes cases. It's worth noting here that she does change her appearance for this conversation. Like, she has a low-cut shirt and her hair's up. She's got, like, smoky eyes, and she talks really soft and feminine, and it's like she is trying to get him to change his mind based on her feminine wiles.
But
And
also, if you don't, I'm gonna nail your ass to the wall.
it doesn't work.
Hey, it's called like so. What she did was right. So she spoke softly but carried a big stick.
There
Right?
you go.
Because she came in with the feminine appearance and like, hey, Bosco, why don't you just drop the charges? And also, if you don't, I am going to smash your entire career in life.
She brought out that stick and she thwacked him.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm sure Crystal is just going to ask, like, what do we think happened 8 years ago?
Well, I mean, Jane says what he thinks, and I'm just gonna say that he probably is fairly accurate. So,
and I think the narrative is written in a way that we're supposed to take Jane's theory here as what happened. And so, like, I mean, he says it's basically he killed someone, he killed a bad guy, because I think it has to be that, or he planted evidence.
yeah, where the case just got to him, and he just did what he had to do to, or did what he felt he needed to do to put the guy away or something.
Right. And we did see, if we, in terms of a callback to why am I spacing on the name of that episode? The third episode, Red Badge.
Red Badge.
Yep. And Red Badge, I mean, he kind of intimates that there's something there between him and Lisbon in terms of like a secret that they've been holding, and that if she really had killed that McTeer guy, he would have made it go away. And so to me, I think that's a nice, if anything, something nice about this Bosco arc is that I think it is pretty well threaded, except for the romantic aspect, which I kind of just pull out here at the last minute and try to, I think, get some laughs in this episode.
But so Cho is asking Jane, how did you get out of jail and where did you get your clothes? Even Cho wants to know. And he's just about to answer when Lisbon walks by and Jane's like, oh, Lisbon.
Yeah. And like, I know Karin and I have talked about this before, but I think that's just a fourth wall break. Like, it's the show breaking the fourth wall because they know the fans are like, hey, wait a minute, how did he get there to the farm? How did he get his 3-piece suit back? Like, all of these questions that we, if you've watched this stuff too many times, you start to ask, like, how did that actually happen?
I mean, that's not technically a fourth wall break, right? Because the characters aren't breaking character. I mean, Cho could have been curious about it, so it's.
But he's playing the part of the audience, let's say.
I guess, but I still don't consider that a fourth wall break.
He's asking the questions the audience wants to ask.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
These are the plot holes. Let's talk about that quick.
Yeah, but I still consider that just a nod to the audience, not a fourth wall break. Because to me, fourth wall breaks is just very like jarring, and it's just like, oh, where did this come from? And so I feel like Cho would have been curious about this too. Because if fans are curious, Cho's probably curious too. So,
so Cho is a stand-in for the audience.
Yeah. Especially the brother sister crowd. Boy, is he a stand-in for that.
Yep. That's just Cho's job in this show. It's just
yeah. Poor guy.
Jane's like, thank you for getting me released. And she's like, yeah, because I got Bosco to do it for me because he loves me so much. And like Jane picks up that, because she says this and he's like, oh, it's something else. And so he starts talking about it. He says, Bosco does love you, but he's not the type to bend his principles for love. And he says that you must have something on him. And then that's when he talks about the whole, he killed a bad guy, he couldn't catch, and Lisbon found out. And she only let Bosco get away with it because the bad guy deserved it.
And it does play out or speak also to Jane and Red John here, I feel like. Like, if she's willing to do this for Bosco, what would she do for Jane?
Yeah.
Even though she says she would arrest him.
Yeah.
Would she
I really like their conversation here at this ending. It's so good. Like, I mean, he says that part where he says, he does love you. How could he not? I was like, oh!
I think, yeah, I agree with Karin in terms of this being like, I think an indicator for the Red John arc, and like, would Lisbon actually arrest him if he killed Red John? I think the answer is no. I think the answer is no.
I
But
think
we,
at this point she feels like that she thinks she would, but if it came down to it, she wouldn't.
which is why I think this is sort of setting up like kind of what I see as the show's overarching thing about corruption and how
Hmm.
you just need the one bad apple, which is Red John in the overarching show. That one bad apple who touches, like, it starts to infect everybody else. It's never just the one bad apple, it's the system corrupting everyone.
But Jane says he's touched that she'd risk her career over him and it means a lot to him. And she says, well, if that was true, that means I broke the trust of someone I respect. And I hope you'll be a little more mature and responsible going forward. He's like, let's not go crazy here.
I'm grateful and all. Let's not go crazy.
Oh my god, that was so funny. I love it. And what did she say? She says, I should have let you rot in jail. I love them, especially in this episode. It's so good. Okay, co-reading. What point does Jane crack the case?
So he noticed the glitter first thing. Like, it's in the first 30 seconds of the show. He's noticing glitter on the victim. But he had to break out of jail to meet Sandrine. So all he could tell at that point was that it was someone close to Dooley, because he noticed the glitter on Dooley.
I'm gonna credit an off-screen line, some kind of thing from the jail leader, the ringleader guy who he hypnotized, giving him random facts about vultures that made him realize, aha, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Like Neoshia said, it's the start of this guy's consulting career.
Yep.
If there's anything about turkey vultures in the case, he's your man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hot reading. The turkey vulture does indeed receive legal protection under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act.
Wow.
All right, rewatch checklist. Just been moments. I mean, there's a lot. I love like their jail visitor room scene where, I mean, it's not like a romantic sense, but just their banter is so cute.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So much good
Yeah.
banter.
Yeah. And then the ending where he says, yeah, of course he loves you. How could he not?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're someone pining for someone secretly and they said that to you, I feel like that would be something you think about a lot. I'm talking about Lisbon. Like, if he said that, I think she would fixate on that, right? Especially if now I feel like she's in the transition period where she's starting to feel things for Jane. I've never really felt like it was solidified until around season 3. Like, I think she's still getting there in season 2. So
Yeah, and I will admit, I'm not ashamed of this, and anyone can come after me, I don't care. I was more of a late Jisbin shipper myself when I was watching the show the first time. As in, like, I hit season 5. It was either season 5 or early 6, where I'm like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see it." Because I might have been on shows not brother sister train, because I didn't see him as necessarily brother sister, but like I don't know that I would have necessarily picked up the first time, this line, like, of course he loves you, how could he not? But having seen the entire series a couple times now, yeah, it hits differently.
for me, like I said, it never really occurred to me as being like serious until like season 3. But I saw it from the very beginning. But for me, I just thought, because when I go into a show like this, I know that there's going to be a main romance, and so I knew it was Jane and Lisbon. But I thought it was really clever that they could use Red John and Jane's trauma to stave that off for longer than normal. Because I think with other shows, people start getting a little more impatient sooner. But just with Jane, because of his trauma, it feels so natural for him to just for it to be held off, right? Because he's just not ready. So
Yep. Absolutely.
And I also I don't know, like, because I know sometimes people, when we talk about this in the bullpen, and people I know get tired of hearing me say this, but it's something I get stuck on, because there's a reason that I didn't watch the show and think immediately Jane and Lisbon were meant to be together. Even from the first episode, when I rewatch it, it doesn't hit me that way. And the reason is moonlighting curse was still very much in effect. And even if the TV shows would put people in front of you like Jane and Lisbon, or your Booth and Brennan, your Rick and Kate, or your Beckett and Castle, they'd put those people in front of you, but they weren't getting them together until the very last episode, if they did that. And if they did that, they would mess it all up. Like Jag, X-Files. So I'm watching the show in that context when it's airing. And so I don't necessarily, and I know people get tired of hearing me say that because a lot of people come to the show later, and I love that because that's why we're even talking about this show in 2026 on a podcast. But when you come to it from sort of the back end of the moonlighting curse, we that's not a thing that we actually discuss in terms of, oh, the writers are afraid of the moonlighting curse. No, because shows like I'm fairly certain, and no one's ever corrected me, but I'm almost 100% positive it's Bones that smashed that curse. And we critique Bones and like what they did and everything, and that's fair. I 100%, everyone has their own views on what happened, and that's cool. But it broke a curse, and it's not something that, most fans who are maybe just coming to fandom, maybe their age, they weren't even born yet. I mean, it's so wild, but we don't talk about it in that context anymore. But that's the context I watched this relationship develop in, was moonlighting curses in place. They're probably not going to get together. So sorry for my rant, but that's, I think about it so much because people don't realize that was totally a thing.
Yeah, I don't have that experience at all because I came to the show really late. So
yeah, and I always felt like they were giving us the Van Pelt and Rigsby drama because they couldn't give us the Gisbin drama in the same way. I agree, Crystal. They did set it up really well that it's because of Jane's trauma and you don't question it, and their relationship develops so naturally.
Yeah.
Definitely by season 6, I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, locations. Nothing added to here, but nothing to add there. Punchless, no punching, except the
slap. Sandrine got
slapped, but it wasn't Jane.
Rigsby got punched.
Rigsby got punched.
Oh yeah.
Suit watch. There's only 2. I think there's in the beginning, Jane is wearing a blue gray pinstripe suit with a navy blue vest and a light blue shirt. And then later, when he gets out of jail, he's wearing a navy blue suit with a charcoal gray vest and a light blue and white striped shirt. But yeah, not too many costume changes this episode. Cheat watch we added to this list, which is getting quite long.
Yes, it is.
Somebody posted on the subreddit recently, like, why does everybody cheat in California? But yeah, we added Sandrine. And then Revenge Watch, no addition, nothing to Red John timeline. No Lisbon Scream Watch. No badges, I think, were flashed. I started a new watch list, Jane's reading list.
All right.
When he gets arrested, he's reading The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren.
A lot of us read that book in the 2000s.
Yeah.
A lot of us did. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jane's Herometer. We have Expanses live in New York hair analysis, but for us, my rating is lower than normal. I give his ending hair like a 6.5 because he just kind of looks like very greasy and hasn't really bathed since being in jail kind of look to his hair, but he does look really nicely styled when Lisbon comes to meet him, so I would give that one like a 7.5. So
yeah, that's kind of where I went to. I gave a 7.5 because the greasiness, but the curls in the back are perfect.
It's jailhouse hair. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I don't normally do hair analysis, so I have no real basis for this, but I'm going with 7 out of 10.
I sprung this on her at the last minute. Okay, so for this episode, we get to have Expanse Lover actually give us her hair analysis in person. So without further ado, here's Expanse Lover.
Well, I'm very excited to do this because this was a fun episode.
You're like our Gilda Radner.
This episode balances between serious and serious fun. Simon's curls show when he is taking the situation seriously and when he is having fun. The Bosco interactions show controlled curls, though they are beautiful. During most of the jail scenes, there is a bit of a wiry look to his hair, especially as he is introduced to his cellmate, almost like he is reaching out for information that will help him handle this new and potentially dangerous situation. But when he is making the phone calls to set up Robbie Gerber, his curls are loose and have that devil-may-care look. The same for when he is walking down the road after escaping jail, looking like he hasn't a care in the world. I give it 8.75.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Very
Amazing.
high.
Yeah.
Have you hit 9 yet?
Yes.
You have?
Well, coming up.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Get ready.
In a future episode.
Favorite lines, I mentioned this earlier. Mine is, you know what? I don't need my gun. I can just hit you with my chair. And he says, I think you'll find it's bolted to the floor. His sass. Oh my God. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's so good. My favorite is our episode title, Semper Fi, Sissy, Britches. But also, I had to give an honorable mention to Crime Fighting's Hard. Suck it up.
So I have two actually, but it's part of the Semper Fi conversation, which is Marine Corps sucked eggs. Such a random thing to say to try to get him wound up. But I liked when when Lisbon asks Sandrine what her theory is, which, by the way, to Sandrine's credit, is a weird question for a cop to ask you. And she says, I don't know. Do I have to have an answer? I thought that was you people's job. I thought that was such a good comeback.
For the Cho Zinger of the Week, I had to choose, responding to the nationalist.
He says, I only see you.
Yes.
Right.
And so Cho says, I and the state machinery of oppressions gonna need a list.
I love that line.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back with our Memory Palace quiz, and Neoshia and Karin are going to face off.
Watch out.
All right, we're back with a new Memory Palace quiz for you this week. The way this works is I'm going to ask 6 questions about the episode we just discussed, and you guys will have 5 seconds to come up with an answer. See if you're faster than Neoshia or Karin. They're going to go head to head. Are you ready?
Ready, let's do this.
Let's
All right.
do it.
I don't know if I have this in order of a good difficulty, so we'll just go with it, whatever. Question 1, what kind of muffin does Lisbon actually bring Jane?
Cranberry.
Oh,
Cranberry.
there you go. Point for Neoshia.
Are we actually doing a Jeopardy style like playoff between us? Or are we
What
just
is
trying to throw out answers? Yeah, what is cranberry?
Question 2, what is the name of Jane's cellmate?
Boo.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it is Boo. Yeah, that's right.
Question 3, what does Jane use to seal the bag to trap the mouse?
String.
No.
No.
It's a book.
Okay, but what book?
What book? What book did he have in jail?
Was it Purpose Driven Life?
No.
The Bible?
It was the Bible. But I'm not going to give anybody points because you both guessed wrong. Or actually, you know what? I'll give Karin half a point because she said book. Question 4. What was Kirby Hines' occupation?
Welder.
Yeah, very good. Question 5. What game does Jane play with Roddy in jail?
Dominoes.
Very good. Come on, Neoshia.
I'm doing my best.
She's nodding wisely.
Okay. Question 6. Hardest question. How big is the parcel of land that Kirby died on?
18 acres.
5 acres.
It's 10.
Yay.
But Karin wins.
Congratulations,
3.5,
Karin.
she wins.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yes, a worthy adversary.
All right. Any final thoughts? You guys had final thoughts, right?
Yes. So,
Yeah,
fun fact.
Because this is your favorite episode.
Yeah, so I mean, we used to, and I think we wanted to get this restarted at some point. We just haven't. But we used to have a TM Discord challenge in which we would pick an episode, and it was all like randomized, but we'd pick an episode, pick a theme, and we would write a fanfic for the episode, and we did it every month. And so they're usually just really short one shots. And Karin and I did a lot of those, and we did 2.
Mhm.
We each have a fic for this episode, basically. And I don't know, Karin, do you want to describe yours first, or do I describe mine? What do you want to do?
Oh, well, mine was inspired by yours. So it's kind of a prequel to Neoshia's fic.
So we have prequels even, guys.
Yeah.
Prequels.
So, so you wrote the story. It was based on what if Lisbon goes to Bosco and says, please let Jane go. And she pulls out her knowledge, her blackmail, and he doesn't go for it. So Jane's stuck in jail. Now what?
Yeah, and so I will be very clear and honest. Mine is very dark. It's called Deals with the Devil. It's a very, very dark fan fiction. It's explicit, or it's rated E on AO3. And it does have a Bosco/Lisbon component to it, which I know not everyone's comfortable with, but Karen's does not. And so if you are interested in this sort of what happens if she goes and does this, I would maybe gravitate towards Karen's. And, if you're more open to seeing a Bosco/Lisbon component with a Gisbon component, Deals with the Devil is the fic that I wrote.
Yep. And my fic is called Repercussions. And the trope that we were also randomly assigned this episode.
That's right.
I felt like, and there's hardly any fics written for this episode because it's perfect as it is. But the trope we were assigned was matchmaker crush, which is like where a character is setting up another character to be with someone else, and then as they're setting them up, they realize that they have their own feelings. So I have Lisbon coming to Jane when he's still in jail, and it's kind of his last hope is for her to follow through on playing up the romantic angle with Bosco.
I will put links to their fics in the show notes so people can easily click to it. So yeah, be sure to check those out.
We are literary buddies.
Yes.
All right. If you're enjoying Rom-Com Detectives, please consider taking a minute to leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you're on Spotify, Reddit, or YouTube, leave us a comment answering our question of the week. Where did Jane get his change of clothes? For me, I think he probably just has like a locker somewhere that he can always access.
It's like on Fringe, right? Random bus locker.
No. If you'd like to join additional conversations about The Mentalist, you can visit the Mentalist subreddit at reddit.com/r/The Mentalist, and you can join the Mentalist Bullpen Discord server at discord.gg/mentalistbullpen. To contact me and Karin, email us at host@romcomdetectives.com. Follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, or Threads at romcomdetectives. If you'd like to ask us a question or tell us your own thoughts, you can leave us a voicemail or text message at 1-650-733-XOXO or 9696. This episode of Rom-Com Detectives was recorded on July 20th, 2026. Rom-Com Detectives Mentalist Unit is co-hosted by Watanabe and Karin Lubbers and is produced by Pico's House. We want to thank Neoshia for joining us as a consultant.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll catch you guys next time for a breakdown of Season 2, Episode 7, Red Bulls. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.